All of a sudden, lights go off. Thought it was Sabu. It was not. Um, then a fucking video plays, and I'm just like,
There's a video.
yeah, yeah. They play like a 30-second video. Video was pretty cool. Showed Edge like driving a car or whatever, and it was almost like he was driving through like a city or whatever. Like, and they shot it at night. It was tight, actually. Um,
So all this is happening in the ring as like Darby is laying there bleeding out.
it's black or whatever. Like they
Is
blacked out
black
the
enough
arena.
so Darby's there bleeding out, but the crowd can't see it, so it's out of sight, out of mind.
Right,
Okay,
and
that's
it's basically
better.
like show the video or whatever because you had got up and left at this time, right?
Oh, buddy, I didn't even know about this Sting shit. After they beat Darby and pinned him after that long ass 3 count, I got up from where I was and headed home. I was like, nah, this will take me 15 minutes to get home, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now.
So from there, they're like, you think you know him, not you think you know me. It's you think you know him, and then as his music hits, or excuse me, Adam Copeland's music hits the
Yes,
rated R
Adam
superstar.
Yeah.
So
How does WWE like just they brand all this stuff and then they lose and they don't even bother to re-up on their
bro, they
trademarks?
be
How does this
lacking.
happen?
They be lacking. Bro, this radar superstar shit. Apparently, they haven't held the trademark on that since 2020.
It's
So,
crazy.
now Edge comes out, hits the poses, runs around, and all this other
He
shit.
sure did. Let the powder off.
Let all the power off.
Not a dud in sight. That shit made sure to go off. Meanwhile, the biggest blow off match in the history of the company, we ain't had no way to check it. There was no way we could foresee such a thing. When Cody come out with enough pyro to blow up an unincorporated town, it goes off every single time. I want justice for John Moxley. I want justice for Kenny Omega. And I want justice for Eddie Kingston. This is bullshit. I need one of these niggas to catch a dud. Why are they only ones to catch duds?
Bro, I would if I was one of those three, I would want to fade with the pyrotechnics operator every time. I'm like, one of these days you're gonna have to give me the fade. Like just once. Like you have to pay. Like but Edge comes out, jumps in the ring, and Nick Wayne hands him the chair. Like, hey man, you with us. Obviously you with Christian, right? You Christian's homeboy. And he's like kind of playing like, yeah, I'm here with you guys or whatever. And then, he has a chair up like he's going to give Darby the concerto or whatever. And then he loops around, swings on Nick Wayne. Christian rolls out the ring immediately. He's like, fuck this. And then he hits Luchasaurus with a spear. Gets them boys out of there, essentially. Helps Darby up. Then they, basically, oh my God, Adam Copeland is here. And all this other stuff. And by this time,
why are you making Excalibur sound like Vince?
It's just a default setting.
Okay, I just hey man,
But I was looking at Darby at this time, right? Darby had been down for so long, and then like
this plate,
bro, and then like he lost the match, hometown for the belt, and then like all this shit is like, yup, all this is just they stole a main event for an Edge debut, and then I'm like, I just start like thinking to myself, I'm like, what if Nick Wayne just decided to be an honorable person and not turn heel? Like, does Edge just never come out? Like, I know you're not supposed to think about these things, but like, it's
you
like,
should. You absolutely should, because it's like, first off, in reality, Danielson should have been main eventing. Like, if you're going to have 3 hometown people on a pay-per-view in matches, the one that loses should not be the fucking main event. That's dumb. But because Adam Copeland is all elite, that justifies it being the main event, even though it should not be the main event because the hometown person is losing.
Yeah. I guess it was just such a big thing, and it's like it's killed social media all day. I think it's like over 1 million on YouTube on the views and stuff like that. Like, it's a lot. And
good, cool. Like
it's a lot.
I'm not like disparaging Christian or Edge Adam Copeland coming into AEW. Like, me, I like Edge, Adam Copeland.
We'll do the Edge talk in a minute. Like yeah.
Oh yeah. But the thing for me was just like, first things first, the main event match was Christian versus Darby Allin. You beat Darby Allin in his hometown. And the only reason why you're doing it is to justify and put in the main event at that is to justify that Adam Copeland is then coming out, which is like, this is the fundamental stuff that used to
This
hate.
exposes the business.
It's like, I'm not going to, maybe I'm not going as far as you unless you want to expound on that. But like, for me, it's just like, they Sami Zayn'd him. They put him in his hometown and then beat him. And there's no need to do it.
You know, I think that Sami Zayn thing was 100 times worse because it wasn't like Darby Allin was being propped up as the hottest thing in the industry. Like, like I don't think like Darby Allin didn't lose because of himself. He did get fucked. Like if Darby Allin lost because of himself, like I'd be with you. There's a little, you know, there are loose ends you can pull on there, but
I just don't get the idea of the hottest person in the match is in the main event and they lose in their hometown. I'm just not going to. Nah, man, I'm never going to be okay with that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, obviously, they should never done. The answer is they should never done Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns unless you're going to give Sami the belt and have Roman win it back a week later or whatever else. But that's beyond. We're past that now. But they should have never beaten Darby Allin in this spot. And like, it reminded me a lot of like WrestleMania 35 when we were like, okay, either Kofi's going to get screwed or Becky's going to get screwed or Steph's going to get screwed. And I remember going into like, somebody has to get screwed. And like, everybody feels that someone's going to get screwed here because it can't just be on the biggest show of the year that like all the good guys go over and it's a happy, joyous night of pro wrestling after we got our teeth kicked in for 364 days out of the year. We can't have our one day of the year where all the good guys finish their stories, have their happy ending. No, can't happen. WWE actually let everybody fucking win. AEW said, nah. You know, somebody's getting fucked here. And I was like, man, that stinks. I was like, just do the clean sweep. If y'all could do a Dynamite where the Dark Order does a clean sweep, then I'm sorry, you can also have a clean sweep for Seattle or Washington State or whatever you want to fucking call it. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think it killed the town. I'm not doing that. I don't think it killed the town. But like I think that like you have a great moment for the area if you have them all three win and then you can come back, you know, a later time and have like one of them win a big title match. I just thought it was wasteful in that way. Whereas like you're gonna make one of them a failure for no reason, for no good reason.
Yeah, it's just undone so simply for me. Like if Nick Wayne just doesn't turn, none of this ever happens, right? Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that part of it because it's like you just wait a second. This dude, him and Swerve, AR Fox and Swerve, like basically almost killed me, and like you're forgiving him on my behalf.
But like, fuck you.
What about me? Right? So yeah, I like all that works. I just wish you didn't pull the trigger on that right now, you know. And like, if you're gonna, and obviously it's like, well, we want Christian to retain because we're probably gonna do Christian versus Adam Copeland or whatever else. Like, let's find a way to be able to have an excuse for Darby. That's the excuse to do. I just like, for me, is like just. I don't like being Darby in Seattle like that. I just don't. I think that's fun. I think that's the most important thing, and you fumble the most important thing.
So, Adam Copeland in AEW. I'm not no Edge fan.
Not an Edge head.
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, after that last run,
yeah, like buried him 50 feet under the earth during that last run in WWE. You know, we've obviously been over the metrics, the money not drawn, the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame percentage dropping, the lack of quarter hour movement or, you know, things like that. But maybe this is how he was deployed. He's going to be working a lot more in AEW. He's going to be more of a regular character. He dropped a big statement about it, and he was in the post-show press conference saying all the right things. He has a much better professional reputation than CM Punk, who essentially
Absolutely.
is the guy
Absolutely.
he's sliding in to replace. Probably on the payroll too. um, and
No, he's making money CM Punk. It can't be.
I mean, if we're talking about the salary slot, like Edge is just, he's sliding in there or
He's
whatever.
getting
Like,
some of that CM Punk money.
yeah. So
Yeah, but he
like,
ain't getting all of it.
but you know, this guy's highly spoken of.
Yeah.
Lot of people like him. A lot of people influenced by him. He's a good guy. Everyone says, and
Yeah.
um, you know, this guy has had to watch his best friend be critically acclaimed almost for 2 years at this point.
Yep.
I feel like Edge wants some of that. And
Oh yeah. Remember how he was getting upset at us for not liking some of his matches?
I do.
No. Let me rephrase it. Remember keywords on that. Some of his matches, some other matches we thought were great, and then he ain't say shit. But some of the matches we thought that some of the matches that weren't good that we said were bad, he did not like hearing that. He did not.
Yeah. And I think much in the way Christian came in to where it was like, yeah, man, I'm coming in low stakes. I'm gonna just like wrestle Frank Kazarian, in a 20-minute opener and do these things and kind of peak. He peaked last night, I think, in AEW, like Christian.
That was his best match in AEW.
And like he's been on a incline pretty much the whole time, just like with the turn was great. The stuff with Jungle Boy and then all this stuff is like kind of just worked out for him. A lot of stuff broke right for him. Now with Edge, it's like he does not have the pressure to be this all-time legend. He does not have the pressure to be this genius wrestler who's just better than everyone and marketed as such, kind of. He does not have the pressure to be just this guy that everybody remembers from back in the day or whatever. Like he jumps to AEW and it's like, what does he look like under low stakes? That's actually kind of interesting. Like because I don't think any of us are demanding for him to be one of the 5 best wrestlers in the promotion. Like that's not like happening here. Like, and it's like,
to be honest, I don't know who the fuck was asking to do that in WWE either, because he wasn't that either.
But they were pushing him like, yo, you're gonna win the Royal Rumble. You're gonna have all these fucking great matches. We're gonna give you like 35 fucking minutes at a time and all this stuff like that. It's like, no, man, like reel this shit back. Like, what does he look like under a different thing? Like, we know you like to bleed. You're a deathmatch guy. He's gonna obviously probably do better here in AEW than in obviously in WWE. Like,
I have more creative control or more creative freedom, at least.
More creative freedom. I think there's a path to success for him in AEW where it will be easier with lower stakes, kind of, and there's just less pressure on him. However,
I agree.
I am not excited about Edge. Like if I never saw another Edge match, I don't think I would be sad or anything. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, he gave us plenty of his career. Thanks, like, or whatever. But he wants to keep going, and who am I to tell this dude to lay it down or whatever? Like, and there's a lot of people upset about this man for jumping ship, and people that were just like, man, swore to God Edge was theirs for life. Newsflash: these wrestlers do not belong to y'all, man. Like, I take no, I do not rejoice in picking Edge up. This isn't Kazuhiko Nakajima walking in the door, who Tony Khan did say he has interest in the press scrum. This is not that where I'm about to start celebrating all that, but it's like, you gonna give me a chance to laugh at these maniacs, I will take it.
It's always so weird. It's like, did you? I often talk about this when we talk about the way NBA basketball is covered. And it's like, do y'all even like the players? Or do y'all like the gossip and like the transactional, like pseudo fantasy GM aspects of moving these assets and pieces around and that kind of stuff? It's like, do you actually enjoy like turning on a game on a Tuesday, like illegally, right? Or if you got the package or whatever else. Like, do you enjoy actually watching this stuff? Do you enjoy actually like the people that bring you the memories from watching this pastime? And so for me, it's like when people do the whole like, I can't believe this person left to go to here. I'm always like, so you didn't actually really like them, because if you did, this wouldn't bother you. Like, you don't have like those memories that you have with them in this promotion. Those nothing changed. That stuff still all happened. So what's the problem? They left the dude have memories elsewhere. That's weird.
Yeah, man. This one was like, 25 years of Edge. Edge, one of the most pushed guys in WWE. I think he won more championships than anybody in WWE in their history or whatever. But like the possessiveness over Edge, while Dolph Ziggler was just fired unceremoniously,
right,
for just loyalty for years and years of WWE, and it's like y'all just like, well, that's just the cost of doing business, and it's like,
yeah. It's okay. It's a team shit. It's room for laundry. It's like, it's okay if the team makes a decision to part ways, but it's not okay for the player to make decisions to part ways. And that I've always hated that shit. I've always hated that shit. As long as you know me, I've always been like, why is this one way street and it's only like a transactional this relation where it's like, what can you do for me, or what can you bring me? And then if the other side wants anything of it, then it's like, nah, man, you out of pocket. Like, I hate this shit. And it's like this. It only comes down to being like, y'all actually like it. Y'all actually like these people.
Had the Elite jumped to WWE, I would not have been happy for a multitude of reasons. Right.
I would have not been happy off the sense of, does this mean like AEW is going to go down and be in jeopardy?
Like, we know nothing's going to happen to WWE at all.
Right. Like, but like that'd be my only issue with like them leaving. But that's not an issue that like I lay at the feet of them and I wish them the worst. It's like, yeah, man, that kind of stinks that you're leaving because it's all Elite Wrestling and now it's no Elite Wrestling. It has to be NEW. And now it's like, oh, now it's all MJF in the MJF first. I kind of wish y'all stayed because I want to watch y'all. but it's not like, but it's like, nah, man, if you want to go out there and I want to see Roman Reigns. I want to see Roman Reigns have a 5-star match one day eventually. I like to see him and Kenneth get down. Yeah, let's see. I want to see that. So yeah, that wouldn't bother me. Also the part when they left is like, I think they would have fucked the Young Bucks over immediately. I do not like the future prospects of the Young Bucks in WWE. So that's another thing where I'm worried, like, oh, so you're going over there and like they're not going to use you the way that you would like to be used. That's not, buddy. That's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. So, but
this Edge.
But as far as like, if y'all want to make that decision, good for you. That's what you want to do. Like, you see me out here with Gargano, I'm just like, all right, man. All right.
Yeah. This Edge thing is like brought out like the comment sections, man. Like, this is not like your normal like, yeah, man, somebody jumped to another promotion and obviously there's idiots. It's like, nah, man.
Is this like the one that hurt the most since Jericho?
Edge hurts them bad. I don't know what it is about Edge, right? A lot of nostalgia for the ruthless aggression, SmackDown 6, Edge's ride. All this time we wasn't watching or whatever,
the
right?
Brood.
Like, a lot of nostalgia tied up to Edge or whatever.
TLC.
Like, and him winning the world title on Saturday night or Friday nights, whatever the fuck, on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
All those times. But man, I'll tell you this about Edge. I started hearing this stuff maybe like a year and a half ago that he was not long for WWE. This is, I feel like, pretty easy to follow if you think about a lot of Edge's career. Someone that was around him his whole career and was a senior to him and never really worked with him was Triple H. So, is this like a Triple H and Chris Jericho situation? I'm not saying that. It's not to that extent, right? But when Triple H was on top, who was the next guy that was coming up? It was tall, long blonde hair, in shape with the body, good looking to the women. Edge was a threat to Triple H back in the day. Kept him on the other show. They only worked with each other, I want to say, maybe one time. I feel like Edge is a Vince guy. Triple H is, in charge now. They didn't really have a ton for him to do these last, years. Like, they did the weird heel turn with him.
What do you mean, Rich? They gave him a faction and they kicked his ass out of his own fucking faction. And now they're the hottest thing, the second hottest thing in the promotion right now.
I'm just saying, I'm just pulling on threads from his career that maybe can explain this move to people that feel like it's out of nowhere.
No, I'm adding into your point. Like, they're like, hey man, you doing something real cool over. How about we just take it from you and kick your ass out of it? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they used them 4 times this year, right? And the guy clearly wants to do more. He's going to be doing more or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, he said he outgrew WWE. Those are nice terms. Obviously, this was happening the whole time. Edge is a known liar. Especially like when and I don't say liar as in like this bad thing. It's like, man, like Edge like comes out here and this man will like people will ask him about these reports and he'll act like, he's just so offended. Someone asks him about this shit.
No, but you said this to me yesterday and I was like, but if he's a wrestler, they're all known liars. Why is his lies more egregious than anybody else's? It ain't like he lying like he Hogan.
Right. Like, I'm like, look, man, like, they gave that man a nice send-off in Toronto and all this shit. Like, bro, like, when Edge, like, the next AEW go back to Toronto, that Edge is going to ring off. I'm going to say that. But they gave him the send-off against Sheamus, right? And I saw that video, and this whole bunch of weird reports. I'm like, bro, none of this shit says this man is done wrestling. He's not saying, like, bro, if he was quitting, he would say, I'm retiring. He doesn't said that once.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There was a lot of denial, I think, with people just not thinking it was living in fairy tale land, make believe.
Remember Moxley, Rich? It was a thing.
Yeah, and Moxley's like, it's kind of like Edge, like with that weird, how when like, hey, he left, it's over, like you lost, like it's the same. It's not like Edge hasn't like Edge was almost as nice to them as possible, like on the way out, like with like that 4-tweet thread, his scrum with Tony Khan. We'll see what happens when he gets to talk as Jericho. We'll see what happens, right?
You told me that there was a 4-tweet thing, and I was like, I didn't read all that, man. Yeah. Like, because you were like, he's trying to do the apology thing. I was like, bro, these people ain't gonna forgive you. They don't see you as a human being. They see you as a device. They see you as a tool.
That's
so
what
it's like,
it was.
nah, man. Like, you can do it all you want to, but like the people that you trying to get off your case, they're never gonna get off your case. Yeah. Because like you left their team voluntarily. You're supposed to be cut. Yeah. The only way you're allowed off the team is if you get cut. That's it.
Yeah. So like, part of me is like, yeah, man, let's see what he has, right? But then other part of me is like, I ain't never really like loved Edge like that, like except like back in the day or whatever. But it's like there's plenty of people for him to wrestle that he's never wrestled before. He's never been out of WWE. Would I like to see what him and Kenny looks like? Sure. Let's see. Look, if Kenny Omega gets 5 stars out of Edge, I'm coming on here and slandering Seth Rollins immediately. I'm logging in One Nation Radio. Welcome to the show, Rich. Well, I see that fucking Seth Rollins like smoking on this pack, like. But yeah, there's a lot for him to do. There's
a lot for everyone to do. That's kind of the problem. Like, there's too many fucking wrestlers to begin with. Like, look, the thing for me with Edge is like, for those that have listened to this show over the last 3 years, y'all would know that I am far more favorable to Edge than Rich is. I actually like Edge. So, the thing for me is he comes in and like, as you mentioned, this needs to be low stakes. Like, this should not be under any any thought that like coming in, he's here to be a top star in the company. No. Like, you may be able to predict yourself as that because you were a big star over there or whatever else, but like, he needs to come in and he needs to do jobs to people he's in programs with. Like, he shouldn't be trying to be, kept undefeated for 6 months to lead to a title match for MJF. Get the fuck out of here. That should not happen. There's a guy that came back to the place that he did his whole career with, and did not move not one fucking metric. That sucks. That stinks. Obviously, when he came back, it was a bad situation. He came back the day that Kobe Bryant died. The world stopped.
Yes,
right.
I'm glad you brought that up, because like that scarred his entire return for me, because like I didn't even watch the show. I just heard, oh, Edge is back. Great. Kobe Bryant's still dead. What is that gonna bring him back? No.
Bro, I watched that whole show over at where were we? I want to say we were at second Josh's. Or maybe Dan's. I can't remember. But like I was just watching, I was like numb. It's like, why am I even here? What am I doing? I'm watching fucking pro wrestling when like one of my favorite athletes of all time just fucking died in a helicopter crash with his daughter at random. The fuck? Why am I here? Am I just here because like I want to get my mind off it? I don't know. What am I doing? Anyway, so yeah, man, just he comes in here. Like I still believe in Edge and his ability to cut promos. Obviously, it didn't work with some of the stuff he was doing WWE. Obviously, with the almost Clint Eastwood-esque, like talk to the empty chair thing.
Should I turn the lights off in here, James? Yeah, put the spotlight on myself.
Yeah, like obviously that's not really gonna fly in AEW. That's not how they do things. But like obviously he's still a very talented talker and character, and still malleable enough to be able to add new wrinkles, whatever else. When you went back to the Brood stuff, for example, Judgment Day stuff, for another example. So like he is able to move off stuff if it doesn't work. He's that creative a guy. So for me, it's like, all right, I think this dude can still do quality television, so bring him in. Cool. I think that he can still have good matches with people, with new people. Still bring him in. Like I think he still do have good programs, good TVs, and good matches with people. So cool. But like the second you start trying to put him towards or if they ever think of getting the thought of like, let's put him make him a singles champion, put him in the singles championship scene outside of like for a defense to beat him, I'm just gonna be like, nah, man, that's too far. It's too far. Because he's not gonna move a metric. He's not gonna move a single thing for you. And like this is at the expense of and this at the expense of bringing him in to save somebody who actually does do move metric for you in Darby. So I was like, nah, man. Like if it's gonna be one thing, I'm cool with it. If it turns to something else, I'm going to be annoyed.
Yeah, and I said it on the show maybe a week or two ago. The answers are in your youth, AEW. The answers are not in early 2000s WWE, late 2000s WWE, mid 2010s WWE. Like the answers are not there to make your company bigger and make your fan base more passionate and all that. Those guys can help, right? They can help, right. hold some things together or whatever.
Moxley helps. Jericho helps.
But the answers are in your future. Swerve, Hangman, Jay White, MJF, like keep going with those guys. Adam Cole, like keep going with the 30-year-old, like the sub 33-year-old crop or whatever. Takeshita, Sammy Guevara, like these are the guys like, and don't lose sight of that. Darby, the Pillars, of course, like don't lose sight of those guys or whatever. And I feel like they're in good shape.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I don't think they're as good as these shows have been post the Punk stuff. I think they know where I think they know what to rely on. I'm not concerned as far as that. I'm just saying like don't go out here thinking that like you got to find a replacement for CM Punk because like these collision ratings have shown you don't need a replacement for CM Punk. You just needed like motherfuckers that want to work with a CM Punk
Cohesion.
After CM Punk showed his ass. But CM Punk showed his ass. People didn't want to work with him no more. And it led to y'all having to segregate the roster, and it ended up being fucked up.
And I think people will want to work with Edge. So like,
right,
we won't have those issues.
That I think the same thing. Yeah.